What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Screen Work Entertainment. Today we're going over Tulsa King, episode 2. So there will be spoilers in this episode, but remember, we are from Oklahoma, so we kind of have a little unique perspective about this show and the things that they depict. So let's get into this second episode called Center of the Universe. What do you think about it?
I thought it was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off. I thought there's some really good scenes in here that I really thought was funny.
Well, that's the
I
question. Is it a comedy? What is this? Because it was kind of funny, but I think it's funny because we're from Oklahoma. I think that's why it's funny.
well, yeah, it's funny. Well, yeah, even for me, because like just to see, it's like I don't know, like a joke on dispensaries, I guess you could say, and it's just like it's really silly, which I don't know. I think it's really funny in terms of like there's no way that this would happen. Like there's just no way. But it's
Yeah.
just it's funny how they're going about doing this, and I think it's a mix. You know, like it's not. It's supposed to make people laugh, but it's not supposed to be like serious, like The Sopranos or like The Godfather. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that first episode had a little bit of seriousness in it. This
Right.
episode did not have the seriousness. But then again, I don't know if it's because we're from Oklahoma. So there's one scene in here that I thought was hilarious. Okay. See if you remember this. Well, there's a horse starts walking around, and then Sylvester's like, "Hey, there's a horse over there." He's standing in the middle of the center of the universe thing. For him, it's a big deal. But
It's a sign. It's a
it's
sign. I feel like.
it's a sign for what? You're
I
in
don't
Oklahoma?
know. I'm sure like he like it's up to the person's interpretation. You know what I mean? But I feel
The,
like he
for
he's
him it's
like
unusual, all right? But that's very unusual to have a horse roaming freely
in
in a
the
city.
middle of Tulsa. Yeah, I mean like
it's not going to happen. I'm like, you might see horses. Yeah, I'm not saying you won't see a horse. You're probably going to see a horse.
let
Not
me
in the
put it this way.
middle, not in downtown. You're not, unless there's a
It's not
parade.
it's not in the realm of impossibilities. It is possible, just extremely, extremely unlikely, especially in today's age.
Yeah, it's. I mean, even in Norman, you don't see horses unless there's like a show or something.
Yeah, or
You might see
something
a
had
horse.
happened and the horse is just, roaming around. Like got out of the thing and is roaming around. That's the only time that it would happen because
Yeah.
you don't just have random horses.
Even then, it's very rare. And this show depicts it like, hey, look, there's a horse downtown. Here we go. I'm just like, get out of here with that. It was funny. It was funny. But I don't know if it's funny because I'm from Oklahoma and I know that's horse shit. You're not going to see a horse just roaming around freely, especially without a saddle on or anything. Unless it just
like
somehow
a wild
escapes.
horse.
Just like a wild horse, yeah. You
Just
got
roaming the
grasshoppers,
town.
the size of cats, and you got wild horses, and I just, whatever.
I think he did a really good job on when he was walking down the streets of Tulsa. I think some of the scenes looked really good. How the
they look
streets
good.
were like, like watery and just how it looked really dark. And I just think that the cameraman did really good job in filming in Tulsa because it makes it look a lot nicer than what it is. Like Tulsa's cool, don't get me wrong, but we're Oklahoma. It's not like we're known for all this crazy cool stuff, So.
All right, let's jump into this episode. So this episode opens up with him searching for his daughter. Right. So there's one thing that I thought was funny. So he doesn't know about internet. He doesn't know about Uber. He doesn't know anything. He's been gone for 25 years, right? He doesn't know anything, but yet he can type hella good. Did you notice that?
I mean,
like
you can use stuff like that in prison, especially nowadays. It's just especially if you're like a good prisoner, you can.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what anything is. All right. If you're using a computer in prison, and he's gonna know what some of this stuff is, right? But I just thought it was funny how he
wouldn't know what Uber is in prison, especially if you've been locked up.
Well, I mean, I'm not about just Uber, but like some of the other stuff, he doesn't know what it is. But like he's so far behind.
And that's what I think is cool about the show because he does have the whole facade of how he's just kind of dumb about things.
Yeah,
unaware.
Which I like the aspect. You're right.
He's a fast learner.
He's a fast learner, but it's funny that he could type like he's been typing for 20 years. I thought that was funny. It's
I
like a
can't
little
even type
thing.
that good.
Well, it's a little thing that they looked over. That's the first thing I noticed.
I didn't even notice that, man. I was not even
because
paying attention to that.
there's some people that I work with who are in IT and they still type with their fingers.
That's what I
and
do.
he's
I'm
over
like,
here looking, typing like a
yeah, I
storm.
wish
Like,
I
look
could
at
do
this
that
guy.
because like when I type, I'm always having to backspace and redo it because I'm a little poker. I like to poke a lot, And
Yeah. Well, I just saw that and I was like, yeah, okay, he doesn't know any of this stuff, but yet he can type really well. But anyway, so he's looking for his daughter, right, on this website. It turns out he has to have a debit card or a credit card, and of course he doesn't have a driver's license. He doesn't have any of this stuff. So that's what this episode's kind of about: is him trying to reach his daughter.
reconnect.
Trying to get a driver's license, a bank account. Which is kind of funny.
I think it's really cool though. His driver, how he's trying to teach his driver, like, hey, if you're gonna be working for me, you gotta, have good manners. You gotta be legit. I want you to
open the door for me. He's like, you really want me to open the door? He's like, I want you to want to open the door.
Yeah, if someone's paying me $2,000 a week to drive him around, by all means.
Yeah.
By all means, I will get out and open the door for you all you want. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. I think it's just like, it's really cool. He's given a good opportunity. He's got a really good job now. And I feel like even he says it in the show, he's like, I can learn a lot from this guy. And that's the same kind of mindset that I would have going into.
Yeah, but he's kind of learning from a criminal, right? So yeah, we see his dad. He's very
he's a successful criminal. It's not just like a criminal. He's successful.
Yeah, he's a successful criminal. He was still in prison for 25 years, right? So his dad is very you can see his dad is very worried about it. You can tell in this episode, the dude's dad, So
and rightfully
I
so.
understand. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, he wants to go to college and stuff, but
if there's no risk, there's no reward. 100%.
Okay.
I mean, hey, that's what I'm saying. Like he's out here, like he's working with this criminal. He's taking a big risk. But there could be a big reward too. You learn a lot, and you could do your own thing. Learn from Sylvester Stallone as a mob boss, and then, once he starts creating this business here in Oklahoma, and if something happens, because he's 75, it's not like he's a young chicken, a young spry chicken.
So you're saying it's okay for him to work for the mafia? That's what you're saying? That you're
I'm
a go-getter.
saying you got to do what you got to do. That's what I'm saying. I'm not here. We're gonna play the good cop, bad cop. I'm saying I understand. I get it. And if the opportunity was given to me, $2,000 a week to drive this guy around, I'd give it a shot. I'd try it out.
You're funny. So, anyways, there's a scene in here I thought was really funny at the opening when he's walking on the street and he's at the stoplight, and it says wait, and he's like, what the hell is that? What does he say? I think he thought it was like a police officer or something. He goes on like the defensive. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Because I mean, even the part of Oklahoma we live in, they don't have talking stoplights unless you go to like cities.
I mean, they do where I live at. I mean, maybe not Lexington,
a major city.
Yeah, they don't where you live at. Yeah. I guess major, not really a major city. It's not like
in Oklahoma, it's a pretty big city. Anyway, so what? Okay, I really like how he's going into Bodie, and he's talking like the whole chemistry between him and Bodie. I think it's growing on me. It's really cool. Bodie's still kind of unsure.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, Bodie is funny. He is. He's
so like, funny.
He walks his. He's smoking weed at 11 o'clock in the morning. He's like, oh, this is the buzzkills here. He's like, call me a buzzkill again. I'm gonna rearrange beat the hell out of you.
He's like, I want to rearrange your organs. That's what I'm gonna do.
It's so funny. He's like, that's a clever way of. What other clever ways can you tell me about bringing pain to me? It's just, I thought it was awesome.
I know. He's like, I need some money. What do I get from this? What am I getting? Yeah,
for
it
being
just yeah.
stoned at 11 in the morning, I feel like he's a pretty smart guy, you know, because
Yeah,
like he,
he's pretty funny. I really like him. Yeah, he's pretty funny. So then he, Dwight, Sylvester Stallone's character, his name is Dwight. He wants his dealer, right? So then they go,
oh, Jimmy, yeah,
yeah,
Jimmy,
Jimmy.
that was a great scene, man.
Yeah, well, he's a Creek Indian. He goes out there, and I was like hoping they were gonna duel, hoping they were gonna fight.
Tribe, so he's just
Well,
like,
he knows that Dwight is from the mob, and he doesn't want no
he
one
doesn't
like
know
that.
he's from a mob. He just knows that he doesn't trust him. Is what
Yeah, exactly.
he
Yeah,
looks at this guy in a suit with two guys behind him, comes in a nice vehicle. He's like, something's up. This isn't your normal, especially being in Oklahoma. I mean, like, you don't get these nice cars pulling into farms like that unless they're trying to make a deal. Like, hands down, 100%. Like, you don't get that stuff. And typically they don't pull into the farm to make a deal. They typically will go out and like have dinner somewhere and talk about it, you know, for dinner. That's
yeah,
typically how these things work. So I thought it was really funny that you know, he went in there guns blazing. He's like, I know what I want. I'm gonna go in there. And like I said, he's really fast learning, because when he's striking up a deal with the Jimmy, he's talking about the CBDs, the CRCs, the BHO, which is all things. I know I'm speaking Japanese to you, but these are all things that are like super important. It takes a while to learn these things. You know, it's not something that's just super common knowledge. You know,
yeah.
so
He gets it right off
for
the bat.
me,
Yeah.
yeah, for me, I was like, man, this guy is super smart in terms of business. I mean, he really is.
Well, while he's sitting there negotiating, he's eating this dip, right? He's like, "This shit
It's
is
like
so good."
it's apricot. I think it was apricot dip.
with
And then he's
THC in
like,
it.
okay, so hold on. So he's striking up a deal, and he's just eating this. He's just like, I just want to let you know this is delicious, by the way. And he's like, because he offers them some weed before they start negotiating. He's like, no,
He's
I
like,
like to have a
"No,
clear
yeah,
head when I do business, which is fair. But he's just eating this apricot dip like it's going out of style. And I knew, I was like, he's in a grower's house eating some dip. There's no way that there's not THC in this dip. There's no way.
yeah." It didn't even occur
So
to me.
I knew it. I knew it. But it was really funny when they brought it to light after, you know, because he's like, hey, I'm going to buy it at, for the first 10 units, we're going to buy 1,200, and the next 10 units are going to buy 1,100, and the next will be 1,000, and it goes down to 750. And then he's like, okay, wait, let me do the math. And while he's sitting there waiting, you could tell Sylvester Stallone's like, you know, he eats his cracker, and then afterwards he's like trying to keep his, you know, kind of keep his cool, but he's like, you can tell that he's feeling it, you know. So,
Yeah,
and then
definitely
he's like,
feeling it.
yeah, that's why he's like, hey, yeah, there's THC in that dip, by the way. And then his driver thought he was gonna flip out. You
Yeah,
know, he thought
yeah.
he was gonna. He's like, oh, that's why I'm feeling so good. Which I didn't take Dwight, his character. I didn't take him as a smoker, or like, you know, getting high. I figure he's too business, you know, to be getting high. So
Yeah, yeah, agreed. But whenever they leave, and he's just like giggling and
just
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 yeah,
chiefing on that
I know.
on the
I
weed,
know.
man. I'm
He
telling you.
keeps offering Bodie
It
the
just
cigarette, and he keeps taking it away.
it's like, just trust me, man. It's okay. You just trust me. It
Yeah,
takes it away again. Oh, I love it.
yeah.
I mean, this
That
is a
was
great.
pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
And see, I like it because it's not all serious. I think it's really good for the show to bring a lot of, you know, because when you make it funny, you're bringing in another audience as well. You know, you have that seriousness, and you have the you know, the funny. I feel like it correlates well with each other,
Well, yeah,
in
if
my
you can
opinion.
make a mafia show that's kind of humorous, almost kind of lighter tone, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it
We
as
don't
long as
have that.
they well, as long as they set that up, and they've kind of done it the right way, I believe. So I'm not so upset that it's not rated R, but it still kind of bugs me a little bit. But this episode, it was watchable. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I laughed a bunch. But then again, like I said, I don't know if it's because I'm from Oklahoma. That's why I laugh. I don't know if someone from New Jersey is gonna watch this and think it's as funny as I do because they don't understand
Well,
the
I mean,
jokes. Some
I
of it.
don't know. You could see the best of both worlds, because look at that. Think about the people like Sylvester Stallone, Dwight, his character is from New York, so it's kind of funny to see a New
Yeah,
Yorker
because
come
we
down
see it.
here and
Yeah, we see it from his perspective. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
so I don't know. Maybe northeastern people could find their way into the show in that kind of perspective, being like, "Whoa, what the hell is going on here?" Because it's so foreign to them, unless you come
Yeah.
down here to Oklahoma.
Yeah, well, and also, last episode we left off with that girl Stacy, the one he slept with the night before. So
You were right.
I told you I was right on that. So this whole episode, she's like, "No, I'm not gonna go see him again." She's like seeing a therapist, and you're like, "No, no, I'm not gonna see him again." He's like, "Good, good." Then she talks to one of her other friends. "No, I didn't hook up with him. No, 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 I'm not gonna go see him again." I'm like, "Man, you guys, you're gonna go see him again.
Oh
It's
yeah, of
gonna
course.
happen." And sure enough.
I'm interested because I'm really surprised. I figure she would see him in terms of the ATF agent being like, "Hey, I'm going to go undercover, going to talk to this guy. We're going to, you know, uh
But that's not how
just
they're
see
going
what I
with
can find."
it. She's
Yeah,
like
just
falling
see.
in love with him or somewhat.
Well, see, that's not what I expected. I expected her once she realized that he's a criminal being like, "Hey, I'm going to go undercover,
Yeah,
get
yeah,
close to
that's
this
what
guy."
would be good, a kind of a good story. But no, they're going with the trope of like, oh, I'm kind of attracted to the bad
Well,
boy. I'm going to make some drama in my life with this.
Well, now she would be faced with a double-edged sword. I mean, I feel like it's kind of good for the show too because he could learn information from the ATF.
Well,
That
I think that's where they're going to go from it or with it. Is that
because he's got
right
other
there?
people trying to kill him, and it shows. I don't know if you watched the preview to the next episode,
I did
but
not, but
even
yeah, but I mean, even in this episode, we kind of see the guy who's worried that he's there because this guy is hiding from the mob, but then he shows up, so this guy thinks, oh, he's here to kill me.
yeah, when he's not,
Yeah,
it's just
when he has
funny,
no idea he's even there. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So when I was watching the preview to the next episode, it even says it like plain as day. It's like someone's out here trying to kill me, and it has a lot of action going on in the preview. So I feel like this next coming episode, we're definitely gonna see some action, see some cool stuff. I'm really, after watching this episode, I'm really excited to see this next episode. And
Yeah, it's not a bad show. I'll give you that. It's not a bad show. But there's one thing he said was really funny. I want to touch on. Whenever he's high, he's talking about people and their pronouns. That
yeah,
was so funny. That was
he's,
so funny.
I thought it was really good for the show because he's like, I want to be addressed as it, like it don't take this shit no more. It's like that's so awesome. Love
I
it.
know. I like how they took that trope and they just kind of, you know what, we're not doing that. This is stupid, and you can call me it because I don't care whatever he said.
Exactly. He's like, I
You
don't
know,
care. Like I'm not gonna be picky about it, which is,
that was
like
funny.
I thought it's a good way for an older generation to look at it that way because typically it's all like, oh, I hate it, hate, hate, hate. Well, he doesn't really show hate or resentment. He's just like, I don't care. I'm just I'm gonna play it cool. When they go to get a debit card, because he realizes like, hey, it's difficult for me to get a credit card, so I'm just gonna go get a debit card. I thought that scene was so funny because he's sitting there like talking to these guys, got big stacks of cash on the desk.
I know, on the table at the bank. Yeah.
And then he's like, after they're done making the transaction, they do all the paperwork, they're walking out. And he's like, you think that he thought that we were together? And he's like, yeah, probably.
I
This
know.
is so
I know.
funny.
And he's like, we never know nowadays. And then he goes to shake his hand, and the dude like hits
Just
his hand,
slaps him.
So he's like, oh, okay. It was like the classic trope for like a nerd white guy. It made me think of a Weird Al, white and nerdy, a white and nerd. That's what it made me think of.
So funny. And then so after they get out of the bank, he gets a phone call from, and basically he was like, hey, we gotta fix this. You like broke his jaw. He's like, his jaw's like wired shut. He's just like, well, you shouldn't have smarted off to me. He's like, well, we have
Yeah.
rules. There's, he's a capo as well. I thought it was really funny. He's like, well, what do you want to do? Duel? Which I thought was
I know.
hilarious. He's like, no, there's more diplomatic, ways of handling this. I just need $100,000. I'm just, whoa,
Yeah,
punch a
yeah.
guy in the face. Got to pay him $100,000. Jesus.
Punch
And
me in
then
the face. Pay me $100,000.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I mean, like, you're on the mafia. This is kind of, I don't know, like,
They're untouchables basically.
I guess, but
They're Kurt Costner.
I feel like it should be an exemption for an OG guy that did 25 years for the family. I'm just
Yeah, but
saying.
this other guy, he's more of like a, kind of like a
He's
bitch,
new
right?
school.
So
It,
he gets upset when this guy punches him. He thinks, "Hey, I'm untouchable. He can't touch me."
well, it's
It reminded me of that scene of the casino with Joe Pesci and the guy who is giving
such a
him
great movie.
shit. Yeah,
Such a
the
great
guy's
movie.
giving him shit, so therefore he's like, "You can't touch me. I'm made." So then after everyone leaves, they kill him. But anyways, yeah. So that's what this reminds me of, is that scene almost from.
Yeah, I feel like he's just not used to the way it's done, the modern day mafia, which is completely different than what he left 25 years ago.
But anyway,
But
that guy wants him dead. So I think they say if you give him 100 grand and we'll let bygones be bygones. But that guy, he wants Dwight dead.
well, he wants something.
No,
Like
he said he wants him dead. That's what he said when he
yeah,
was
he's being
there.
a
And
big old
yeah,
baby.
he's being a
He
big old
likes to
baby.
dish
Yeah,
it. He likes to dish it, but he can't take it.
yeah, he's one of those. So, but at the ending, he finally gets, well, once he gets his credit card, he's able to try to get the number for his daughter. He's able to contact his daughter, and he was able to finally talk to her. I forget, it's been like, he said, what, 20 years or something since he's talked to his daughter, and he was finally able to talk to her. But
That was
she has
really
nothing to do
cool.
with him. Yeah,
That was a really cool scene, though. Like he goes and talks to his daughter. He gets to at least hear her voice for a second, which I know it's probably like super hard on him
yeah,
to
yeah.
be able to be there. But I mean, like, and then he goes to the center of the universe, which I thought was such a good scene. He walks down Tulsa. They shoot it really well. I think that's probably some of my favorite scenes in terms of the way it looks in the whole show. Is the way when he's walking down Tulsa, he gets to the center of the universe, and then he just kind of vents and basically apologizes because he feels like he wasn't strong enough to see his daughter, and he keeps blaming her, like being like, "Hey, I didn't want to put her through it. I didn't want to put her through the pain of coming to see me all the time." And then he admits he's like, "No, I didn't want to put me through the pain anymore. Like I couldn't handle it." And I think that was really good for him to open up, and for a big tough mob guy to see a little bit deep inside. I feel like that's rare. And I think it's good for the show, because it's not something you expected out of him, and not something I expected out of him.
Yeah, it was a touching moment. He regrets some of the decisions he's made in his past. Because he wants to be close to his family, wants to be close to his daughter and his grandchildren. So that's going to be like a thing in the show. He's going to try to get back close to his family. That's going to
While
be
he's managing this whole mafia thing in Tulsa.
yeah. While he's managing the whole mafia thing,
And
so,
then he's gonna have this ex. I think the dude that's trying to kill him is like an ex mob. Like he was a
yeah,
undercover in the
yeah,
mafia.
yeah. I think he probably maybe he's the one who put him in prison, and he's like in hiding. I think he's like under protection, and
Yeah.
he's here, and then that's that.
Oh, I can't wait. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
Well, there's one thing I
Can't
didn't
wait.
understand. Does his daughter, does she live in Tulsa or she lives someplace
No, she lives
else?
in New York.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if she lived there and he was trying to get in
No,
contact, or if she lived in New York. So
no, she lives in New York.
okay, I got you. Well, anyways, guys, we thank you for watching. This is our spoiler discussion, whatever you want to call it, from two boys from Oklahoma. Our take on this new show from Oklahoma with Sylvester Stallone,
It's
Tulsa King.
great show. I mean,
It's actually a
really,
pretty
you
good
guys should
show. Yeah.
watch it. Like, by the way, I was dealing poker the other day, and one of the people that at my table, we were talking about it, and he's like, "Hey, is it good?" And I was like, "Dude, you should really watch it." So I'm getting people even to kind of check it out because it's worth it, man. It
It's
really is
actually a pretty
worth it.
good flick. Yeah, I'm surprised. So, and you know how picky I am. So,
I don't think it would be as good as it is without Sylvester. So I think he really helps
yeah,
make
it's
that
because
show
of him. Yeah, it's because
at
Sylvester Stallone.
100%.
Yeah, most definitely.
100%.
Well, all right, guys. So, we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode.